It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Bolts and the Raiders, and it comes your way next.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground to about the 35, second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now it's Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
That'll be caught right side by the rookie receiver. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 37. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing now is Geno. That one's complete out to Michael Mayer. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. but at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Smith. This is caught by Tucker. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 15-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Geno now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Myers. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
2nd and goal from the 1. He'll try again. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
It hasn't taken Herbert long to earn this status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. He's locked and loaded on every snap, and the second he sees an opening, the ball's soaring downfield. You've got to be on your A game at all times against him. The second you slip up, he's liable to burn you.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Now it's Herbert. He gets it complete to Harris. 7 yards there and a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Tackled there by Caillou Blue-Kelly.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
On second down, here's the option. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hampton. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Hampton. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Herbert. That is caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23. 12 yards on 3rd down as the drive rolls on.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Throw out wide is incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
2nd and 10. This out quickly to Williams. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Herbert back to the air. He finds his man complete. That's Hampton. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and run for it. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Up the middle they go. It's Hampton, and somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And you know, slapping each other on the back up in the boots right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now Smith. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. He's got Harris running the slant. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd and a couple. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got it. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Tyler Conklin from 6 yards away. And the Chargers have taken the lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield and get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Fresh off the pick six, it's Smith. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 5. Now Geno. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Tucker. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Out of the gun, Smith. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Smith throwing again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So we have reached halftime, intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams, 76 yards. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
Over the middle, he's got Myers. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To throw is Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 3. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. That's caught by Tucker. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 9. Here's a give up the middle. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw, Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 21. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there, excellent, because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? And they'll run again. And this time he will get in. Touchdown Raiders. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the second time in the ball game.
And Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And Mike Williams and his Charger offense getting set for the next series. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good. But there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Escaping. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Herbert now. Finding Harris over the middle. Here's 3rd and 9. Herbert just beat the play clock. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Here's Tucker, complete on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now it's Smith. And that is incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 105 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll try the air now with Smith. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Geno now to throw. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 18. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
This 2nd and 4. Here's Smith.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Smith. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Khalil Mack coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play. But the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows. Erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, this from 37. The kick by Carlson is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So out come the Chargers. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Now he's into the clear again. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. We know he's got the arm, but watch out for those wheels.
Kind of harkens back to guys they used to call the scrambler and the dodger. This guy can make it work with his legs.
Field opened up. He took advantage. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Herbert. Well, this is caught by Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Chargers have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And the lead is up to 14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Raiders offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Smith. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, it's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill. When your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon, there's an incompletion right there.
Here comes second down. Smith to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
And we're definitely getting towards the point of the game where not getting a lot of yards is secondary to keeping the clock moving. I mean, to me, that's a double win defensively. Short gain and some more time off the clock.
3rd and 8. Smith's going to throw it. Short throw caught by Bowers. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. That is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.